Live from Orlando, Florida, you're listening to the Orlando Magic HQ podcast, the voice of Magic fans. Join us every week for a unique fan perspective on all of the latest Magic news and updates. The show starts now.
What's up, Magic fans? Welcome back to an emergency podcast episode of the Orlando Magic HQ podcast, brought to you by DraftKings and part of the Basketball Podcast Network. We're your hosts, Al, myself, Anthony. Today is Tuesday, January 24th, and we're recording this post. It's probably maybe 20, 30 minutes post. The Magic big win against the Boston Celtics, 113-298. The return of Jonathan Isaac. What's up, Al?
What's going on?
What's up? So this episode is not going to be long. We're going to try to keep it short and sweet because we still do plan on recording this Friday. But Al, we're going to start off with your live reaction. You were at Amway. At Amway, you were able to get, we already expect the fact that, Amway is going to be filled with a bunch of Boston Celtics fans. Like, we're prepared for that, right? Eddie House was in the house. He had front row seats of this beat down that we were excited about. But Jonathan Isaac returning, he's back. How was that? How was the standing ovation? How was the reaction from the crowd? What was your perspective live and in action?
Yeah, man. So first things first, I think getting to the arena alone just kind of felt different. Like, there was this vibes that you get for some games, usually Lakers, usually sometimes the Celtics. But tonight the vibes felt like a more important game than just a random game on January 23rd. There was a different energy. Not only because of J.I., but I think there's also some drama with the whole Celtics thing that happened a few months back now. But I got to say, man, J.I. checking into the game was special. I mean, if you're a Magic fan and you did not, I'm not going to say you teared up or you cried, but you just got emotional a little bit in that moment, then you're not really a Magic fan because you feel good for the dude as a person. This dude has gone through so much to get to where he is today. He made it back, and what a way to come back, which we'll talk about more later on. But crowd reaction was incredible. It's unfortunate there were so many Celtics fans. It was loud. It was good. But if it would have been a game against, I don't know, let's call it Indiana on Wednesday, it would have been, I think, twice as loud. It was still good, but it would have been even better. But it was special, and it was a great game. Celtics fans left and right. Big shout out to Magic fans. This is like the fifth game this year where Golden State came in. Philly, I think, came in already. Celtics now came in twice, and you see the big crowds from the opposition in Orlando, and they tried to get the "Let's go Lakers, let's go Celtics" chants, and Magic fans start booing, and they shut them down. And that happened tonight at least 3 times, especially after they came back. When we're up 13, and they came back and made a run in 2 minutes, and our lead disappeared. We shut them out every single time. I'm lucky I have a voice right now because I legitimately, driving home, was like, hey, let's record. And I'm like, wait, I have no voice. I don't know how it worked, but it worked out. But really, really good crowd, really, really good environment. Best part of it all, for those that were at Amway, when we're all leaving down the stairs, coming down on the stairs, a huge "Let's go Magic" chant all the way to the parking garage. Cool. You could hear it. So that was an amazing experience. Huge win. Again, we need more of this, and I think this is only the beginning, to be honest.
Yeah, man. Boston Celtics, the number one team in the NBA right now. This is a team that a lot of other teams struggle with. The Orlando Magic do not struggle with the Boston Celtics. The Magic have beat the Boston Celtics 3 times, and the only team to beat the Boston Celtics more than 2 times, or at least a minimum of 2 times, is the Orlando Magic, which equals a 23% of the losses that the Boston Celtics have gotten this season come from us, which is incredible. Amazing. Shout out to our writer Luke, who was he lives out there in the Boston area, so he gets to be able to see the game from the Boston perspective. But even the announcers, the commentators from the game, they're saying, "Yo, bring on Milwaukee. We do not want to see Orlando because for whatever reason, this team struggles with the Orlando Magic." And I personally think, and this might just be hype, and I'm okay with it being hype, but I agree. Because right now, what it is that there's confidence with the Orlando Magic, right? When it comes to this team in particular and the Golden State Warriors, there's confidence, man. And there's confidence that is just not shaking off. And I really, really love what we saw from the Orlando Magic, man. And it's exciting. So you got to see the live reaction. I'll tell you, bro, like just watching this game from home, like there was you mentioned it, like if you don't feel some type of way when Jonathan Isaac checked in, then you don't follow the Magic that much, you don't care that much, because I had an internal, like, I don't want to say chills, like let me not say chills, but I had a good spirit inside me when he came in. And I'm just like, man, before anything, I'm like, please just have a good game. Have a decent
Yep.
game. Just don't have a decent game, don't get hurt. Now let me ask you. So I tweeted this maybe less than a month ago. Is all I ask is that they make it forbidden for Jonathan Isaac not to do any type of hop step, Euro step, nothing. When he pulled out the Euro step, I almost died out of my chair.
Yep.
I almost fell face first because I'm like, oh, not on the first game back. Unfortunately, he missed the shot, but you know, it was a successful Euro step, which was exciting. But what were your thoughts on Jonathan Isaac, his 9-minute play in today's game?
10 minutes. Let's
10
give him
minutes,
that
excuse
extra
me.
minute in there.
Round it
Now,
up.
to your point, that Euro step, it gave me legitimately, like in my head, I replayed that game against, who was it? He was playing the Kings when he got hurt, because it was a similar move. It was going to the hoop, kind of cutting into the lane, Euro step, and he fell. Today, he missed the layup. He fell, but thankfully he was fine. But oh my God, it's scary when he goes down, because you just don't want anything to go wrong with him. But performance-wise, it couldn't have gone any better. I think Kieran tweeted on our account from 1 to 10, what do you rate it? And I think I replied a 20. I really mean that, because this kid did not seem at all like he was affected by the injury, number one. Number two, what we always suspected is a defense. This kid can play defense like the best of them. Guess what? That was still there tonight. He was contesting shots. He was rebounding well. He was guarding Jaylen Brown while he was out there like a great defender. I want also a big shout out also to Jalen Suggs real quick, because that duo of J.I. and Suggs playing together was special when they were out there playing defense. But J.I., man, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 assist, 4 for 7 from the field. But most importantly, what did he shoot in Lakeland from 3-point range? You remember? We talked about it in our last episode.
Wasn't it? He didn't hit anything. Was that what it was?
It was 1 for 14,
1.
I believe it was.
Yeah, 1.
And he made that one in the last minute he played in the last game. So he really was 0 for 13 in Lakeland, I think it was. And tonight he comes out 2 for 3 for 3-point range.
I'll take it.
So that just tells you, Lakeland, whatever happens there, it's warm up. This is the NBA. This is the real deal. Man, for a second, you just watch him play, and you're like, wait, this whole rebuild we've been doing, Paolo worked out, Franz worked out. Dude, if this kid can come back and play anywhere close to what he gave us tonight on a 25 to 30 minute per night basis, the rebuild makes sense. It all kind of fits. It all looks way better than it should right now. It's going to be special. And if he can just stay healthy, this team is going to be special. But what were your thoughts on J.I.? What were your thoughts on the minutes restriction, number one, but also how he looked?
Well, let's start off with the minute restrictions. Stephen Cameron, our guy from the Close Up Magic, he had sent us a DM. I'm not going to say what he said just in case he doesn't want us to say it, but we're more or less on the same lines. It's weird. Like, it's not weird, but we go from 15 minutes of first game, 15 minutes of second game, and then about 22 minutes of third game in Lakeland, to then dropping like 8 to 10 minutes. It's kind of like, dude, you're already there. What's an additional 5 minutes? But whatever. It's the first game. We'll live with it. I'm curious to see how long this whole 8 to 10 minutes is going to be. But dude, man, the 8 to 10 minutes that we got, or the 10 minutes that we got, was more than anyone could have ever expected. For all the Jonathan Isaac haters that are out there that were saying, oh, we're not, who knows what type of player that we're going to end up getting, which I'll be honest with you is a valid question, right? I hope that this gives you at least a little glimpse of hope. And what I mean by that is I don't want to get too excited after the first game. I know it's the first game. It's the first game at home. It is the first game at home against the number one team in the NBA. But yes, it is just one game. But what did we see in that one game? In that one game of 10 minutes, bro. That's it. Just 10. Quick fadeaway jump shot that we saw that looked absolutely beautiful right now. Let's be honest. He did have a little rush, right? He almost turned the ball over, was a little careless. He missed 2 free throws, which it's not. We're in the NBA, guys. We shouldn't be missing 2 free throws. And he's a decent free throw shooter. He's not bad. So we'll just kind of brush that off of nerves. But we saw him very active on the defensive end, which was awesome. Even the things that didn't show up on the stat sheet, right? He was still there altering shots. Like, you have to respect it. Jonathan Isaac at least has somewhat of a name for himself on the defensive end, and people have to respect that more than Wendell Carter or Mo Wagner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was great that we still at least see that in the first 4 minutes that he played his first stint, bro. He had 3 rebounds. Yep. What's the one thing that I've been complaining about like the last month and a half? Rebounds. This dude comes in and 3 rebounds. Now he ended his 10 minutes with 3 rebounds, but it was good to see that he got it early. But offensively, bro, he was aggressive. He was mad aggressive. He came in right away looking for a shot. Scares me a little bit because that reminded me of the bubble, because in the bubble he did the exact same thing. And it was kind of short-lived. But this question was asked. I believe it was asked in one of the spaces. And I know that this was a topic of discussion for everyone else. It's like, where do you see him? Do you see him being like the third guy offensively, fourth guy offensively? Like, what is it? I don't know, man. One game. It's just hard for me to see him take away how aggressive he is offensively. He looks for a shot. And if he looks for a shot, eventually they're really going to start hitting. And when they start hitting, man, to combo Paolo Franz with a now veteran 7 foot, whatever he is, ginormous Jonathan Isaac, because to me, he still looked really big out there compared to, kind of what we saw in Lakeland. He's a big dude. Mm-hmm. Man, we got a dangerous combo, man. Like, it's going to be scary.
I would say that's the one thing that I was like, please give me a couple of minutes of seeing J.I. on the court with Markel, Franz, Paolo, and Wendell. Just give me a couple of minutes of that. Unfortunately, I didn't get it tonight. It's all good. Hopefully Wednesday or Friday or Saturday. I don't think he plays next Friday because we play back-to-back. But again, to your point, man, I really like the fact that he's looking for his shot. I really like the fact that he's not shy about it either. He's coming in and demanding the ball and asking for it. Like you said, last time we saw that was at the bubble. He looked really, really good before that injury. And don't forget, go even back to when he got hurt the first time against Washington. He was starting to look good even then. So it's a progression. We've seen him get better. Now, let's be realistic too. I think there'll be a time where he's going to hit that little wall, where he's going to struggle a little bit. He's getting tired. It's going to happen. This dude hasn't played in 904 days. So it looks amazing today. We won a huge win against the Celtics, but also be realistic. It's going to happen at some point where he's going to hit that wall and struggle for a couple of games. But for now, you have to be excited, man. And the potential of him with that lineup of, again, Markel, Paolo, Franz, Wendell, if you throw him in there some way, somehow, dude, it's scary what this team can be like in a short amount of time. I'm even talking about next year. Like, let's talk about training camp of next year. If we have some better shooters around this team, the Magic can be serious, man. I mean, they're playing better as it is already, but the future is really, really bright with this Magic team.
Yeah, man. Just to read kind of some of the tweets from Steve Cerruti. I don't know if I said his last name right, but from the Ringer, that he mentions a lot about the Orlando Magic and about Franz Wagner. And just to kind of read some of the tweets that he had today. The most recent one was shouts out to Scalabrini for asking Eddie House if he wants to walk back his comments for the Orlando Magic. Celtics better hope that the Magic don't sneak into the play-in, and that's one of the things that I've said before is that we're a wild card, and that's what teams have to respect, because they don't know what they're getting with the Orlando Magic. There's days that we kind of lose ourselves, that we don't play our style of basketball, and shots aren't hitting, right? But there's also days where we rise to the occasion. In order for those things to happen, and I've said this in the beginning of the season, a lot of things have to go right. Paolo Banchero playing at an all-star level. That's one of those things. Franz Wagner also playing at an all-star level. That's another one. But, shout out to Cole Anthony too, who had a really, really big game today. I hope it's not that I know that he knows that he has to play this level of basketball. Like he knows our bench unit is depending on it, right? Cole Anthony ended the game with 23 minutes, 18 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Like these are things that we're asking for. And if he can stay healthy, if he can be consistent, and Jonathan Isaac can stay healthy, you're looking at a massive upgrade to our second unit. And in order for us to be successful and really be serious about the play-in, those things have to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we're down 9 games under 500. I'm really looking at that game on Wednesday against the Pacers. Like, you have to win that one. Give yourself a little wiggle room there. And then who do we play this weekend? I know it's the Bulls on Saturday. Who do we play on Friday? I just saw this. Oh, Miami. In Miami. So it's going to be a tough couple of games coming back after Wednesday. So we have to find a way to win these games. Because again, if we want to stay alive in the race, we have a chance. We're 4 games out right now. We're still 4 games out. It's realistic, man. We have a lot of games left, and now we're getting healthier. On top of that, it's doable.
Yeah, and when we look at those 4 games back, you got Chicago that's in at that 10th spot, 21-24. Who knows what Chicago is going to look like at the NBA trade deadline? Raptors are right underneath at 11, 21-27. Who knows what the Toronto Raptors are going to look like after the trade deadline? And then you got the Wizards that just traded away Rui, however you pronounce his last name. So it's doable, man. We just have to be able to keep playing consistent. And these games are important, man. Boston Celtics, if you're looking at it in the beginning of the season and you're going based off of wins and losses, this is a game that you would have looked at and said, all right, we may not win this game. And the fact that the Magic legitimately knocked them in the face 3 times is exciting. It gives a lot of people hope. And there's a lot of things that you can be excited about with what you saw with Jonathan Isaac today.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be exciting times for us Magic fans. We've been waiting for this moment. I don't know for how long, man, to see a healthy team, a team that, I mean, back from training camp, I know we were so upset when we started hearing about Markel missing time, Jai not being ready. It's because of this potential of this team is really, really good, but they have to play basketball together. They have to get that chemistry going. The more that happens, the better this team will be. They need to know what their role is going to be. They need to know what minutes are going to come in. But to your point, big shout out to Cole Anthony, big shout out to everyone played well today. Even again, Suggs did not really do much offensively, but on the defensive end was a monster out there. Mo Wagner doing what he does best, instigating things and making things happen with the Celtics. Markel didn't have a great night offensively, but did an amazing job running the offense, creating things for the team. And finally, big shout out to Wendell Carter too. 21 points, 11 rebounds, 3 3-pointers. That was huge for us too. So it feels good, man. I just hope we can also back it up on Wednesday, win another game there, and just build up from it.
Yeah, the last time Jonathan Isaac played, he was 22 years old. He's 25 now. He's in his veteran stage. I saw a glimpse of pre-injury Jonathan Isaac, man. Like if you were to take those 10 minutes, that was pre-injury Jonathan Isaac, 100%. And the fact that we got a now veteran type player with Jonathan Isaac that defensively he's going to be able to do way more impact than said Mo Bamba. Rebounding, he's going to be way more impact than said Mo Bamba. Like the list continues. If he can really hit that shot from 3 on a consistent basis, not likely consistent, but first stint in the NBA after his injury, consistent, man, it's going to be nasty.
It is. I mean, it's. I think it's all from here, man. It really is up from here. We just need health. That's all I keep saying. If this team can stay healthy, Jalen Suggs, Markel, J.I., that's going to be the key for us. And we got Chuma probably coming in a couple of weeks too. So that'll be the first time I don't even remember since when, the Magic are going to be 100% healthy. That's going to be crazy to look at. I mean, I don't think Chuma will play much when he comes back because we have a lot of bodies now that have earned those minutes. But it's going to be special, man. That's the word of the night for me. This team can really, really be special.
Yeah. Now, what we have to look forward to now is going to be that Wednesday game against Indiana. The consistency, second game, the jitters are out of the way. The first game is out of the way. I think that's going to be it's going to be big because we're going to be able to get a little bit more of a bigger sample size. Will the 8 to 10 minutes restriction be increased at least to 15? I think 15 is a really good number. Let's up that up because the stretches that we saw Jonathan Isaac in the game, we were a completely different basketball team. That
100%.
steal, the drive, the pass to Paolo Banchero where he slams it down the fast break, like that was beautiful basketball. Like we were texting in the beginning of the game and we're like, yo, what team is this? And then Jonathan Isaac left the game and then, the Celtics started catching up. And what did you say?
Back to reality.
Yeah, this is there they are. There they are. But man, this game was a lot of fun. Boston Celtics, because I know that arena was filled with Celtics fan. I'm happy to hear that they're all driving home. Like, damn, man, how do we lose to Orlando Magic? Well, let me show you how. So it's a great game, man. It's a great game. This episode, we said that we're not going to do it too long, and we're hitting that 20-minute mark. But real quick, I do want to shout out our HQ guys. They've been putting in a lot of work. We had Kieran at the game today that was covering. He's going to be dropping an article that's going to be available to everyone out. Our boy Lou, Shot by Lou, he was at the game today also filming some great Orlando Magic content. So definitely look out for the clips that he's dropping. Then our guy Stanley Swanson, he's out in the Twitter world, on Twitter Spaces right now, recording, getting live reactions from the fans. So the Magic headquarters were out there. We're working. We're putting out major content, and this podcast is going to be releasing. So a lot of Orlando Magic HQ stuff out there. And we appreciate everyone listening and supporting and checking us out, man. It's a great day to be an Orlando Magic fan.
Listen, man, it really feels like it's the beginning of something special. Maybe that turn, how you turn around and you're like, all right, this is when I'm going to start doing well in life, or with my diet, my workouts. It feels like that's happening with the Magic today. Like, J.I.'s back, big win. We've been seeing, again, Paolo, Franz, we've seen glimpses of things doing well and kind of the future looking brighter and brighter. I really think, write this date down, January 23rd, 2023. Let's look back at this and say, what has been Magic life since that day? Because I do believe with a huge offseason coming in, 2 draft picks, cap space, a team that we can start to see who the stars are, who the key players are. I think it's time for Jeff and the front office to say, hey, you know what, man, let's start building on this, because we've got our pieces. It's time to add shooting, which we know we've needed for so long. Let's add some shooting. Let's add some talent to these guys, and let's go for it. Like, enough with playing the long game. I think this team is ready to make a leap.
Yeah, if I could be a fly in the room to hear the conversation between John Hammond and Jeff Willman on their reaction, because they had to have, they had to celebrate. Like, today would be a good day for them, that this was their first guy. The team was supposed to be built around Jonathan Isaac. This was their mold, right? Today's a day for them to pull out the whiskey and pull out a cigar and sell it. Take a moment, pause, and celebrate for a moment. I just saw this tweet from Adam Papagiorgio, who dropped out, saying, Paolo Banchero on Eddie House being at the game. We knew he was there.
Nice.
And I love the pettiness. Love it. Good. Take notes. Don't forget. Circle it. Like, make sure that these people will hear us coming, because I'm sensing a lot of change happening, and I'm hoping that this continues. Anyways, man, you got anything else you want to say?
Now, man, we'll see you guys on Friday morning once again. Ooh. Thank you for listening today. Again, it's a special night. Enjoy it to your point. Have a little drink. If you like wine, whiskey, have a little drink today, man. You've earned it. It's been a long time coming. We waited 904 days for this moment to watch J.I. play basketball. But even better, to actually back it up and beat the Celtics again at home with a stadium that was, I'll call it halfway. Celtics fans, we've earned this moment to enjoy and celebrate. So let's do that tonight.
I might just do that, man. I might just make myself one drink before I go to sleep, man. It might happen. Hey. Celebrate. Man, I appreciate you guys listening to this extra episode. We'll catch you guys on Friday, where we'll discuss that second game with Jonathan Isaac against Indiana. Man, it's a wrap. Appreciate you guys for listening. See you guys in a couple of days.
For all the latest Magic news and updates, visit OrlandoMagicHQ.com and follow us on Instagram at Orlando Magic HQ and on Twitter at OMagicHQ. Also, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and subscribe and leave a 5-star review on your favorite listening platform.